You know what one of the best parts about being completely unprepared is? All you gotta do is focus the cameras and turn on the mics, and then whatever else happens, happens. Hi, hello, and hi, and hey, how's it going? My name's Odin, and welcome to the Sunday live stream. It's Sunday, it's time for a live stream. I'm gonna continue with working on the Proton Packs today. That much is given. Where am I at? Wherever the hell it is I left off last time. I wanted to get stuff done behind the scenes. I wanted to get stuff done in between videos. I believe I said I wanted to get stuff done so the next time Felicia's here, we would actually be able to move on to more things. Well, as it turns out, Felicia's not here, so I can just do stuff during the live stream and we'll have more stuff done for the next time she's here. Okay, so I'm going to end up saying this a few times, but just so those of you who are watching right now know, or those of you who are watching in the future and actually watch from the beginning, bless you, Felicia isn't going to be able to make it today. She's got some really fun family things going on. She's got, whatever it is, it's a good time. It's positive. Nobody's sick. Nobody's hurt. She just can't be here. So good for her. All the good feels for Felicia, and hopefully we'll see her next week, or next time, not week, next week. What is next week? Next week is not a live stream because I'm going to continue with this every other week thing because it's working better for me. Where are we at? Who do we have? Oh, Shop Gremlin's here. Good. I'm glad. Dan's here. Good. I've got a full complement of mods. Thank you both very much. I appreciate it. Thank you specifically, Dan, who is spending his time doing this. I mean, Shop Gremlin's spending their time doing this as well, but Dan is, yeah, thank you. Marla Guy's here. My day's doing okay. The beauty of being live. Yes. Dan, all I gotta see is right for you. Bless you, Dan. Oh, Will Connors is here. Right on. Hello, Will, and Jerry Can Cosplay. Hello, everyone. On Discord, just like not even half an hour ago, or about half an hour ago, I was joking about how, yeah, I just got up and I'm eating breakfast, and I wanted to let all my friends in Europe know that, you know, we did a whole time change in America, and so we're going to be going on what feels like an hour earlier. And Jerry immediately says, breakfast? I just finished dinner. Yeah, that whole living on a rock that's spinning in, yeah. Aria 51 is here. Nice. Resurfacing my desk and then working on Stompy. Stompy. It was a typo, but Stompy. Right on. Excellent. Yeah, no, and what was it? Oh yeah, we had a quick live chat the other day, Aria 51, myself and Shop Gremlin, about LEDs and found LEDs, which by the way is 100% where to go to begin with if you're looking for LEDs. Just if you can find something, just found object LEDs. There's no fear on that. Luckily for Aria 51. Most of the LEDs that he had picked up had their voltage that they wanted on them. I think out of the three, one didn't, so technically two having the voltage is most, but one was 12 volts, so didn't work the phone charger. Not a phone charger, but a battery charger with an output or a USB cable output type thing, right? One was 5 volts, so of course it glowed great, and the other one was, so it's probably 12 or even 24. A lot of the LEDs you buy at Home Depot or other places for home use are actually 24 volt. They want a 24 volt input in order to make them glow. Even though the LEDs themselves, I'm pretty sure, are running on 5, the way their system is built, they want 24. So, thanks guys. As a result, a lot of that type of LED that you get from a hardware store may not work. Those stuff that comes out of the lighting department. Flashlights are a safe bet. So, or fairly safe bet anyway. Got some thumbs up. So what's happening today? I'm going to drag out the motherboard. I'm going to drag out the Proton Packs. I'm going to glue the other motherboard on, try and figure out where the heck it is I left off 2 weeks ago, and see if I can't advance on forward. What else is going on? A little bit over the past couple of weeks, last weekend specifically, I got together with Joe Gillis, and we finally took a stack of these yellow VHS tapes and turned them into these yellow VHS tapes. Where's the switch? There we are. Wrong way. There we go. It works if you switch it the right way. This one's not super glued together. We super glued some of the switches. Well, I super glued some of the switches together while making this, which of course doesn't work very well at all. But what should be fun is this was one of those projects that I was just desperately trying to get done, and then you know, I needed to shoot it. So it started out with Joe being here, which was awesome. And so here's the switch in the no record, thing. It's got USB charge. There we are in the back. It glows. Everything's painted. It still has. I'm getting distracted, but anyway. Yep. So these are shipping out. What was fun with Joe being here and shooting some of this to begin with, he came over as like moral support. He came over. Yeah, we signed and numbered them all too. Cut a few more times. He came over for moral support, came over to offer a friend and companionship here in the shop, came over to politely kick me in the pants to actually get the project done. And realized that it has not exactly to the month, but it is 10 years since Joe and I did DIY Prop Shop. It was 2015 when we did the very first episodes of DIY Prop Shop, and Joe was there as the camera guy while I forced my way through the thermal detonator, the Lancer rifle from Gears of War, and that god-awful energy scythe thing from the Protoss from Warcraft 2. Which is fine. I mean, the whole point of my DIY prop shop was for it to be kind of cheap and cobbled together in less than $40 and doable in a weekend. That was the whole like feel of that show and the directive of what they wanted. But to look at that prop now, which actually I still have, it's just buried on the other side of forever. God, it's horrible. That was even pre-EVA foam. I was using craft foam, didn't know to call it EVA foam at that point in time. So if you go back and look at that, I actually made most of that Protoss staff out of camping mat, out of the rolling the EPS foam mat or that you would use for camping. You know, it's not even a yoga mat. It's stiffer and has a really big cell structure, and it's kind of made out of sort of like, you know, milk carton plastic sort of. And yeah, that's what, and bunting from the hardware store. Yeah, it worked. One of the earlier rewiring of a flashlight videos too. But anyway, so he came over to shoot this, and he was just taking pictures. He was taking some video just to do it. He thought, oh, maybe I'll make a post. And then he shared it with me, and I start looking at all the video that he's taken with his phone, and it's like, I should make a video out of this. I really should. So proceeded to film the rest of it, and now I've been dragging my feet doing the whole edit thing because I'm still mentally stuck in never edit land, but I have touched the project, and I've got about the first 2 pages of the script written, which is 2 pages more script than I've written in a very long time. So yeah, working on having a video actually coming out. Working on having a video coming out this month. And then talking with Joe, came up with an idea for April 1st. So have an idea for the April Fool's video, which will actually be a video. It'll be a short video, but it'll actually be a video, not just a dumb joke. I mean, it'll be a joke, but it won't just be a dumb joke. It'll be one of those things, right? Anyway, 2 big things planning there. And of course, the other thing I was having a lot of fun with over the weekend, I really ranted about during the last live stream, which is all the new Lego stuff. So I want to get the videotape video done. Then I want to get, I need to get the April Fool's video shot. And then I want to do a giant Lego video because I'm still really into that, and I think that would be a video I'd actually stick through and get done. And then at that point, maybe I'll actually be in the motion of getting things, because, yeah, it's March, and I said I'd have a video out in June. I said, whoops, that's not a Freudian slip. Said I'd have a video starting in January, and yeah, there's no video out. I think you guys probably noticed that. I have. Other people online have. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Ooh, more. One of the fun things, it's been a little while, I came out to set up to do the live stream today, and I walk out and I realize I've got the mess of a project from the last video still on the table that I have to pick up. It's like, I haven't had this problem in a little while. This is nice. I like this. Schultz Division came in. Hey, hello, Schultz Division. Jerry Can Cosplay. I got some unfinished 3D printed helmets from my job. What's the best glue to put them together? Gonna guess their PLA plastic. Has someone else entered this already? What's a 3D print material? That's exactly what first thing came to mind. He mentioned Lego again. And yeah, Shop Gremlin's right that it's probably going to be super glue. The two things you can put it together with that are going to work probably the best for PLA plastic. Super glue is going to give you more or less instant gratification, and 5-minute epoxy is probably going to hold longer. It'll handle the thermal shock better than super glue, but your 3D printed helmets probably aren't going to be, really hardcore hot and cold. One of those weird things I remember talking to a guy who made, it was foam core and graphite rod structures that were attached to weather balloons to take simplified science experiments to space. He was doing a whole, super low Earth orbit space program thing. He had his own ideas on how to get there. So he was doing an independent business out of Sacramento, where kids could send in science experiments. He would put those together on his missions and send them up, and then they were like ping pong balls. That was the requirement. You could do whatever experiment you wanted, but it had to fit in a ping pong ball. And then he would send those back to the kids. And he had found that hot glue and super glue both did not like the extreme temperatures of the high desert and on Earth, because he launched out of the Black Rock Desert, kind of where Burning Man happens in Nevada. He'd drive out there to do the launch, because when a balloon comes down, it's just going to fall down. It doesn't really have, a controlled landing. But anyway, the temperature of that up to the temperature of low orbit, which is, cold, the super glue and hot glue, they both didn't survive the ascent and descent, to the point that pieces of the launch vehicle were just missing. They didn't survive re-entry, which is still just falling with, a popped balloon above as a drag chute. So this isn't like Mercury capsule re-entry. It's just falling from really high. But the 5-minute epoxy did. And the 5-minute epoxy, a lot of the foam core boxes, 5-minute epoxy survived the impact. So, but honestly, super glue is a lot easier to use. So, if you're on PLA, it's probably super glue. Oh, you should make a prop to submit to be sent into space. Joe and I have talked about that on occasion, about sending something with him. One of the things that, this is JP Aerospace is the name of the company. I didn't say that before. So it's just JP, because his name is John Powell. So JP Aerospace, you can find him online. He's been doing balloon ascent experiments since the 80s. He's got tons of experience in doing this. Was talking with Joe, because Joe's still really good friends with him, as well as talking to JP. On occasion, he has sent Star Wars figures to space to get just photography of Star Wars figures in space. And actually, I know from the Beyond Geek episode, there's a shot of a Lego X-Wing and TIE Fighter next to each other that may or may not have been motorized. I'm not sure on that part now. But that went up to space with the GoPro pointed at it so you could get, you know, shots of Lego X-Wing and TIE Fighters shot on location. So... Yep, still friends with this guy. Yep. The Lego Spaceman. An Odin scale, of course. Yeah, that might be a little... The weight's an issue with the weather balloons because the drag on the balloon versus the altitude, the pressure of the altitude, if you have too much weight on it, I believe it pops at a lower altitude and doesn't always get whatever it is JP's going for. I think. I could be wrong on that. But that's what I gleaned from editing a long time ago. Because I edited that episode, the JP Aerospace episode, the Floating to Space episode. It's like episode 2 of Beyond Geek. So Odin scale minifig, even though he doesn't weigh very much, is probably going to be too heavy to set up in space over the weather balloon with JP Aerospace. Mass! Exactly. Crunch Labs did a really cool thing. He built a small sat with a camera and a cell phone and let people submit selfies. Yeah. And then we'll take selfies of your selfie above Earth. Yeah. So I sent my Zeus pic. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I remember Joe was trying to figure out how to maybe get a signal, right? How to have a constant live feed signal, because he thought it'd be really fun to, because JP's got it, right, for a while. They've got stuff on the balloon. They have tracker signal that they can see, of course, but then like some of the GoPro Wi-Fi signal or something else, they're able to watch the balloon itself in real time, because they have a camera pointed up at the balloon. So they're able to watch the balloon in real time, so they know when it pops. And they're able to record that from the ground. Because if you can't get your balloon experiment back, then you're not going to have any of your data. So yeah, Joe was trying to figure out how to do something like that with like sending a Teams message or something for, I don't know. He had an idea that was Joe's idea that I understand, but becomes this weird thing of you don't share those types of ideas because it was a story point idea for a video, and Joe's had too many of those stolen from him. So it was a neat idea. I hope it works. Anyway, waiting for the pic to come back. Benin Lynch is here. Hello, Benin. Right on. Okay, so that's about it, right? I've got some cool jumpsuits. Not wearing them today. Felicia still is not going to get to see him yet. I've got a giant Anakin Skywalker angry looking at me from down there. The giant minifig is sitting down there. That's going to be fun. We get to talk to that guy next week. But anyway. For 2 weeks, I'll let this thing set. Well, dang it. I'm just laughing because it's a little bent and warped. Alright, so this is all... Oh, I got more of those guys. What is that? Oh, that's just resin. Okay. What's all the crap in your back shelf, Odin? Crap. What's up, Bean? Hi. What's up, Bean? You gonna run away? I can't chase you right now. I'm kind of stuck here. well, Bean's here, even though he doesn't want me to pick him up. Let me turn this. Yeah, you might be able to hear him. Turn this over so we can sort of start to settle down. Yeah, it's funny. Shock room, the notice already mentioned Legos again. post-apocalyptic project. That over there. Finding stuff. Hey, look, a motherboard. Got that. Got that. Got a piece of light stand. Now have 4 Ghostbusters jumpsuits. Thank you, Lewis. Okay. Smartest thing I did was try to number the. I was smart to put it on the outside where I could see it. Okay, good. I was remembering that I labeled the doors on the motherboards like A and B, so I knew which one went to which. And then I realized, yeah, I'm gonna put this thing together, and I'm not gonna be able to see the letter. No, I put it where I could see it once it was glued together. I thought about that last time. Okay, good. It's up there. That's what I'm looking for. It's awesome having a shop and having lots of space to put stuff. If you're disorganized as all fuck and ADHD is all get out, then yeah, you lose stuff. Okay. Right. Just going to glue the motherboard on. And I think what ended up happening today is we're going to glue motherboards on, and then we're going to hand paint them with Creature Cast. And that might be all that happens today. If I can find more 3D printed parts, I might glue some of those on. I still got to figure that out. Oh, did I make that? No. Okay, good. Still got to figure out the connection of... maybe I'll work on that, too. Might do that more than the painting. All right. The collector tubes, right? The bustard scoops. What are they? Are they goes to the side of the Proton Pack? Still got to figure out how those are going to attach firmly. Okay. What we got here? Good evening, all. I hadn't realized the clocks had changed. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, unfortunately. I didn't either until somebody pointed out that, you know, it's 3 in the morning. It's like, what? It was just 1 o'clock. Yeah, it's 3 now. Our times, if your guys don't do the whole time change thing, our times, it's like when it jumps ahead in the spring, it goes, you know, 1 a.m. to 1:59 a.m. to 3 a.m. Marvel Guy, to answer your question about that Saturday morning props tutorial for welding plastic together with a soldering iron, I have not. I'm sure it would work. It's called, it's basically welding. A lot of toys are done with, I believe it's called sonic welding, which is an industrial technique we're not going to be able to do at home. That's how a lot of the original Star Wars figures, their 2 body halves, were put together through sonic welding. However that works, sounds like superhero stuff. I have not. I'm sure it works fine. I've always been happy using solvents and gluing with glue. Weld on 4, which I wish I knew where my gallon of Weld on 4 is, works extremely well with most of the plastics that it reacts to, where it's actually dissolving the surface of the plastic, allowing the 2 different surfaces of the plastic to mingle together, and then as the Weld on 4 evaporates into our lungs, the surface of the plastics re-solidify in a bond that is pretty dang strong. Still not unbreakable, but you're actually breaking the plastic at that point instead of breaking the super glue that's between them. Schultz division did the plastic weld, yeah, didn't hold right. This season, the last I'll be able to get free tickets into Legoland. Oh. Yeah. Right, the entire Irish Mafia is injured, aren't you? You're both hurt right now. Speedy healing to both of you guys. So Jerry Can Cosplay and Ben and Lynch are infamous on our Among Us games for being the Irish Mafia, constantly putting hits out on people. Other people in the game anyway, and that's kind of where all that came from. But both of the men have hurt themselves recently, if I remember correctly. Cheeseaholic is here. Cheese is here. Hello, Cheese. Take a shot of potato juice, Jerry. You'll be back in no time. Okay, Ari actually has a good question. Why Creature Cast? Why do I want to put Creature Cast onto the Proton Pack instead of, say, Plastidip? Basically because I've been wanting to try Creature Cast for years at this point. This goes back, like, pre-pandemic, I was excited about Creature Cast. I was so excited about trying to use Creature Cast that our dear friend Jerry Can Cosplay, who we're just now talking about, speedy healing to you in your arm, Jerry, actually from the other side of the world, purchased from Portland, Oregon, in here in the United States, where Creature Cast is made, and had 2 gallons shipped to me here in California. Thank you very much, Jerry, for all that. It is a water-based neoprene sealant that, unlike Plastidip, doesn't have all the volatile chemicals. It's non-toxic and is still UV resistant. It acts like a latex rubber because it's a neoprene rubber, and depending on the flexibility that you get of a Creature Cast, like I have a untinted version that is supposedly a lot like latex that I wanted to use for a creature build that I wanted to do a long time ago. That you can also tint, with acrylics or whatever else if you wanted to, but you just paint it and it's fine. Up to there's a semi-rigid, which is what's on this, and it made a difference. We could immediately feel that the foam was stiffer with the rigid, semi-rigid on it. And there's a rigid Creature Cast, which I also have a gallon of, that we haven't tried using yet. Would this be a good thing to try on Stompy? Yeah, it might. It just might. You're going to have a lot of stuff to cover. I got plenty of Creature Casts. It might actually be a good thing to try on Stompy. And one of the nice things is it's all sprayed with an air gun, and these were sprayed with an air gun, and we end up getting can we see it? No, we mostly just see dust. Because of the way we sprayed it, this is the royal we, because Shock Gremlin did all the work. It was done with a low pressure. It just looks dusty on screen. I see a lot of compression speckles and starving pixels. But it has that kind of bumpy cast iron type texture, which is probably really good for Stompy. So yeah, got plenty of it. I've got the rigid, and I've got a gallon of rigid. I've got 2 gallons of the semi-rigid, and it was one of those things that Evil Ted first talked about, and he had set up in his shop, and he was using on a lot of his project, and he said he really liked it for multiple reasons. There's reasons to use that other stuff that I love, Plastidip. There's reasons to use Plastidip. One, it's self-contained and easy. The price has been going up a little bit, but still, the price difference between Creature Cast and Plastidip, it's pretty close. There really isn't a savings, but you're front-loading a lot of the Creature Cast. You're buying it in a gallon for over $100, right? It's like $125 a gallon or something like that. But you're going to cover a ton with that amount, and you can cut it with water and cover more, and you can add a thickener to it, and you can add but you need to have the equipment to spray. You need the air compressor, you need the air gun, you need the patience to do it. Which one of those out of the 3 I don't have. Plastidip becomes much easier to use because it's in a rattle can. It's in a, and you go. That's not but you get what I'm trying to say. So anyway, yeah, when it comes time to Stompy, once you have all the pieces built, right, you have the whole suit built, then, yeah, maybe you need to come over. We need to go in the backyard and spray them down with a creature cast in the sun. Cheese. Yep. Jerry Can's going to give the whole potato juice shot a go, which is awesome. I'm catching up. I know all of you watching read this crap, so you don't need me to read the crap to you, but I haven't read it. Mashed roast and chip potatoes, but I'll have to juice some later. Lol, rigid. Yeah. So, Ari, are you laughing about it being rigid because of sexual connotations or because the Home Depot tool brand is rigid? Yeah, the slap tear. Marble Guy, that's a fantastic question that I already just answered, I think. Can you describe the difference between Weld-On 4 and regular super glue? I'm not sure which one was recommended and less expensive. Super glue is less expensive and recommended because it'll work on more items. Weld-On 4 only works on acrylic plastic, styrene plastic, and similar acrylic-based plastics. The difference is one's a solvent glue, meaning that it's going to dissolve the plastic and bond it, like I said a few minutes ago. And the other one's super glue, which is actually a chemical bond of a separate substrate between the two pieces you're bonding together. So it's not actually welding the pieces together. How's that? Or is that too quick? Plastered the legs already, but yeah, let's do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Well, pretty sure Creature Cast will stick on top of Plasti Dip. Anyone know a good 3D printed rattle can rattler? Oh Jesus, really? Plasti Dip just about doubled in price recently, tripled in some places. When I started doing this, Plasti Dip was like $6 a can. That was 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I could walk into Home Depot, which at the time was the cheapest, and I could get a can of Plasti Dip for $5.98. I think it's over $10 at Home Depot last time I looked. I don't know what it is now. I got to where I was buying it off Amazon by the case because I was using enough of it, and it became cheaper by the can that way. But if it's like tripled in price, well, in some places, probably the places I wouldn't go to buy it. I mean, if I know what the price is and I can drive a little bit. Yeah, $4.95 a can at Walmart. Oh, that's great. I don't think I ever saw it at Walmart, but that's great. No, it was $5.98 is what I was paying for it at Home Depot. Ari's like $12. Okay. Will Connors, do I think Creature Cast would be better than Plasti Dip for seeing my Lord Zed bodysuit? Probably. If you get... Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on with using Creature Cast, Will, if you don't already have the tool set up, because you're going to need a decent-sized air compressor, one that puts out more air pressure and has more volume than just an airbrush air compressor. I mean, that'll work if you want to airbrush it. That should work. That's more of a shop Gremlin question than me, but typically we use a spray paint gun that you actually put a pint or quart of material, which is... I don't know, half a liter of material into the bottom of the gun, so it's a good sized can, and then you're starting to blow it out. It's only like 30 psi. Shop Gremlin might remember better than me, but I think we were running it at like 28, 29 psi. It was kind of like the acrylic paints were like 21, 24 psi. I think I think Creature Cast like a little bit more, and then it was watered down slightly. I think it's already pretty water-like. I probably should break it. I actually keep talking about it. So if you have the ability to have the air compressor and you either have the spray gun or don't mind going and picking one up from Harbor Freight Tools, then the latex equivalent Creature Cast should give you better bodysuit stretch than Plasti Dip. Plasti Dip is flexible, but it will... When you move a certain way, it's not going to stretch. It'll do that pleather, wrinkle, stress thing. when you try to move, right? Which, again, may not really matter. But if you're spraying it directly onto your spandex suit, I'm pretty sure, because I haven't done it that much, you're going to lose some of the flexibility that you have of the spandex suit. You're still going to lose flexibility by spraying it with the latex equivalent creature cast, but it's going to flex better. How's that? Now, what's the difference between the latex equivalent creature cast that's based off of neoprene rubber versus, saying, watering down latex? Can't you just get liquid latex rubber and spray that on your Lord Zed suit? Hell yeah! I've done that with the... right back here is the face hugger you can't quite see, but this silver thing is the bottom of his canister. That's just foam that I had I don't think I sprayed it. I think I sponged latex rubber directly onto the foam in order to give it a skin. That will also work on your Lord Zed suit. The difference between creature cast and latex rubber is latex is a organic compound grown by a tree. It's tree sap that's been treated. And creature cast is a neoprene rubber. It is a man-made synthetic material. So the man-made material is going to last a lot longer. Latex rubber over time will crack and peel and fall apart. It's just what's going to happen because it's organic. And the more stress you put on it and the more UV you expose it to, two things you're probably going to do wearing a suit to a con, the faster that it's going to break down. What does that mean? Is it going to last a weekend? Yeah, it's going to last 2 or 3 years or more. But it will tear, and the latex itself is going to crack and tear.
Eventually.
And the neoprene for the creature cast is going to last longer, but
Eventually.
it will also crack and tear and fall apart. So whatever you want to do. So out of the three, between Plastidip, latex, and creature cast, Plastidip, if I didn't have the air compressor and I didn't have the spray gun, or I didn't have the patience to just take wads of foam and dapple the entire suit with latex, probably work with the creature cast too, then I would probably also use Plastidip. But I would think Hollywood isn't known for doing the most cost-effective, budget-friendly versions, but their go-to is always spray the suits with rubber. So I would think a rubber substitute would at least be emulating what the Lord Zed suit was probably built out of originally. How are we doing on time? Okay. Yeah, I got a clock here. I can actually see what to squint at. Schultz Division, it was never cheap here, about $10 to $12. Yeah, sorry. The big box stores for America really helped with getting some of the prices down, but they're catching up, and those prices aren't here anymore. But then also the trade-off is those big box stores never took care of their employees. Sorry, Shady. So you're paying a discount price at the expense of all the hourly workers who aren't being taken care of that are working in those stores. 12 euro here. Wow. Cheap one from Polyprops. Right. There are other things. There's those like Flexipaint, which Tig.co.uk was selling at one point. That was a sealer and a paint. Smooth On has a paint as well that I believe is a sealer and a paint. I think. That may not be a sealer and a paint. That may just be a paint, but it's a flexible paint. Smooth On also has a sealer, but Smooth On is not a budget-friendly resource for cosplayers. It is an excellent high-quality material. I am not at all trying to say anything bad about Smooth On, but having gone the cheap route for years, Smooth On always seemed just beyond the affordability factor of, I'm going to play with this stuff and figure it out. And then they do sell like little kits, trial kits that are affordable, but are so small you really can't do much with it other than, well, I guess this should work, which is all they want. And it's not that they're trying to gouge you. The materials they're working with is expensive. So In the UK, Mold Life is the one you're going to want to look at. So Smooth On has got a huge foothold in the US. They are the dominant silicone and casting resin manufacturer for the United States. But especially in the UK, if not most of Europe, Mold Life is the one you want to look for because they are a UK-based company, and they've actually been around longer than Smooth On, but they never quite managed to get hold here in the US. And according to the Mold Life representative that I was talking to, they were one of the ones that first developed using a skin-friendly oily cream compound, like a moisturizer. That's the word I'm looking for. They had a skin-friendly moisturizer impregnated as part of the it is part of the silicone for doing head casting. They were the first company to do that, so the silicone wasn't as harsh on the skin. And Smooth On copied that, and the last time Mold Life checked, I want to say that because this has been like 5 years, the Smooth On version still would weep, right? Whatever the moisturizing compound was in their life casting silicone. And Arya, we did your face with this stuff, the last of the dragon skin that I had. It will actually wick and bead to the surface of the mold years later. And that's the moisturizer that was in it for your skin. Now, it doesn't really affect the mold. If you see it or you know it's happening, you just wipe it out with a paper towel and cast again, and who cares? But the Mold Life one apparently solved that problem initially, and they don't have that sweating problem. That's the word I'm looking for. They don't have that sweating problem with the moisturizer. Thanks for bringing up a bunch of weird stuff, guys. We did thin the Preacher Cast, and we ran the pressure at about 35 psi. I am so grateful to have a partner who's got a memory. Oh, good, you got a spray painter for painting your house. Yeah, those types of spray painters should work. I don't have one. I wanted to get one from Ryobi, but they quit making it in the States. For like a house spray painter, that's the airless style, right? The style that doesn't require a can. That should still work because Creature Cast isn't any thicker than house paint, so that should still totally work. And because it's not a route I've gone, and not a route that Ted's gone, and not a route that I read about, I don't think about it. But no, the sprayless can should work. What question about weathering props? We're not on that subject right now. €19 a can in the UK for Plastidip? Wow. Yep. Public time. Thanks. And Jerry's off to get more potato juice. Alrighty. Edit. Hey, I touched the project. I touched it. Been more on topic than I was last time. I've talked a lot less about Lego. Live streams and Ghostbusters done. This is the exciting time. Everyone watches Odin use the YouTube interface to actually try and make things click and happen. Alrighty, we are now public. The one with Beverly downloads like $18 a can. Wow. You know, 4 years of tariffs. Right? Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. We were trying to put together an international list of suppliers on our Discord server, places that somebody outside of the U.S. could find materials to purchase to be able to do things with. Still need to do that, and probably even more so now with all this tariff BS that's going on. And yeah, I was trying to say tariff, not another word that sounds similar but spelled with S's. Louis Cossey is here. What up, peeps? Hello, Louis. Thank you. I was just joking about how I've got 4 jumpsuits I just moved to the corner over there. Hello, and since Louis is here, we'll go ahead and go with you. Hello, I'm Odin, and welcome to the public portion of the Odin Makes live stream. Hi, I'm Odin. Yeah, and Felicia's not here. Felicia is not going to be here today. Felicia's not here because she's got some fun things going on with family. And so the good news is nobody's hurt. Nobody's in the hospital. There's nothing to worry about. It was just a timing thing where, gonna go have fun with family instead of being here. That's totally cool. I'm really glad that for once nobody's sick. So that's really cool. Wow. Dan Does Junk has got a message retracted. Terrorists. Yes. So Lewis, we've been talking away about Creature Cast and Plasta Dip and sealants for foam and other cosplay, because we used Creature Cast on this foam here. Just in general, hey Lewis, what do you guys use to seal your packs? You're probably just spray painting them, but you actually might be using something specific as the base coat for your Proton Packs when you're building them together. So I'm just kind of curious if there is, like, you're using truck bed liner. Is there something special you guys are using for doing your packs? All right, I can't just glue that on. I gotta cut. It's time to get rocket props out. I gotta cut. Oh, this whole thing isn't even glued together yet. Well, it ain't gonna be. Not today. Oh. And welcome, kids, to ADHD Theater. So I need to cut the channel. Hi, Bean! I need to cut the channel in the... Bean Dog just ran in, but he won't actually let me pick him up. And he doesn't like being on the table. Oh, maybe I can pick him up. Nope. Run! He's going to put me on camera. Anyway, Bean's here. But Felicia's not. ADHD Theater. Boy, the dog just distracted the hell out of me and totally lost my train of thought. Whatever that is. Stayed up too late, not forgetting about the whole time change thing. So, I'm here. I'm awake-ish. But I'm in good spirits. That's pretty cool. Oh, there we are. Yeah, that'll cut too deep. Well, that's right, but I'm okay where I'm cutting because I've got 2 layers there. There we go. Yeah, I think I made it a little wider. So I'm gonna need that. I think I put one in here, didn't I? This is just foam, isn't it? Yeah. Let's go ahead and just overcut that. So I know I did this last time, doing it again because need to. Just making a channel so wires can move between compartments. Of course, they need to be deep enough that it's usable, right? That whatever I might want to use in the future is usable. I see motion in the chat window. I asked Lewis a question. Probably she does double check that, because chances are that guy who's been incredibly participatory with this whole build has been really cool. Has probably given me an answer. JH freaking P. Wow, it's been so long. I used to binge this and collect cardboard. I'm in college now, but nothing's changed. Right on. Hello, JP freaking JH freaking P. It's a great name. Yes, earlier in the live stream, I was reminiscing with the Patreon members and the Discord members that 2015 was my first DIY prop shop videos, and so it's been 10 years of this. It's been 10 years of this. Smack that like button. Hey-oh, Temerital Turnip is here. Adaptable Gamers, right on. Hello. Okay, yeah, Bean didn't like the garage door being closed. Of course not. My phone one was a commission, so I don't know what they used to seal it. But I can ask about the Arduino request I sent in the letter. Did I miss something? Oh, this was, yeah, Lewis. You know, I never actually got around to finish reading this thing. Ask you a favor. I sent this in email to the .com site. I don't know if you saw it. I probably didn't. Oh, okay. I walked away from this letter after the last live stream and got totally, got caught up doing other projects and forgot about it, so I haven't read about it. Animatronics, I will absolutely share this with Shock Gremlin and try and take a look at it, Lewis, because he's trying to do something with a slammer prop from that he had purchased. So trying to get it to work again. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Did you give me Scott? Oh, okay. Discord username is Buster Dad. Did you send me a friend request? Yeah, I need to make sure I can connect with Lewis on a more easy permanent basis. So I'll set this letter aside so I can remember to look at that. Not in the shop. The other letters I sent. The letter. Yeah, I read the top of that one during the last live stream before putting on the jumps. It went, for your eyes only, went, oh, okay, I'll read that later. Apparently it's still later. Sorry. Ralph is here. Chronicle Props has a great question. How many more live streams do you think it'll take before you finish these props? You know, I'm milking this project for all it's worth. And one of the things I'm really horrible at is giving an accurate timeline and how long it's going to take me to finish a project. Even at work, when I'm asked about, well, how long is it going to take to finish this video? And it's like, I can't plan 2 weeks from now my own life. You think I can give an accurate representation about how long it's going to take me to finish a project? I honestly thought we'd be done already. So different things came up. We don't ever touch it outside of the live stream. So literally, I'm working on this maybe 4 hours a month. Maybe. Depends on how much time I spend talking versus actually getting stuff done. And the point of the streams has moved from trying to do a build live to interacting with you guys live and then sometimes doing a build. And it feels like interacting with you guys live is more important. Maybe I've got a skewed attitude on that. Let me know. Should I ignore the chat? Should I ignore you guys and just kind of do my thing in silence? Or do you I'm not really bitching. It's just, realistically, I can kind of do one or the other. I'm not really all that good in articulating a thought while trying to think about what I'm doing. It's just, my brain doesn't do it. I'm too visual, and it takes too much effort to translate a visual thought into words to speak it, to be able to talk and do at the same time. My personal handicap. So, how much longer? I honestly thought we'd be done by now. The fact that we've got some electronics in, and I'm starting to put the motherboard on, again today, so hopefully we can start getting it attached to a backpack. Starts getting it to become a wearable thing. And honestly, getting the electronics put into the wand, which would be nice, is probably outside of my ability to do this year already. I can see that. So I think we need to just finish these with what we've got. without getting any more electronics, without getting any more bells and whistles. We have the ability to add future stuff to it. So I think we need to just finish these as static with the little bit of lights that we've got and kind of be done with them. And then when we're able to get the electronics for the neutrino ones, we're able to get soundboards and put them into, then we can come back and do that. But I think there's no more stalling for we got to get those next, because I don't think there is a next for that right now. That's not something that I can afford to do, not realistically. So, yeah, put out more videos, you can make more money off YouTube, and then maybe you can afford it. Yeah, that's true. And that still is a month-out process. If I was to put more videos out, it takes 30 to 60 days to see revenue come back from that, and then I got to dig myself out of a hole. So it still puts it at, about a year out. So, gonna guess. And I love how I say that immediately after saying I can't plan 2 weeks from now. There's a fuzzy area between, okay, a year from now and 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, I've got a con coming up I can't even think about because it's outside of my mental range of planability. Come on. There's also a reason for why this particular project was never tackled on the regular channel, as much as it had been on my potential to-do list since DIY Prop Shop. Yeah, wasn't going to tackle this. It was just too big of a project. And I still think that's true. I got reminded by Shop Gremlin after they watched me do the last pack that even in manufacturing, hot glue is used to hold wires in place while you're doing the next step. So let me warm my convenient Ryobi hot glue gun. Let me get this thing up to, come on, get contact. Some of these work better than others. Oh wow, this one's really not happy now. There it is. Let me get that. Nope, there it went. All right, where's another one? Do I not see another one? We got multiples, so will this grip work better? Nope, it's the base. There we go. Okay. Heat up, MFer. I want to use hot glue gun to tack the wires in place, so as I super glue the plywood onto the foam, the wires will just stay and behave. I think I need to put a notch in this thing too. RA51, which con? You're not coming to Carrier Con. No, I'm not going to Carrier Con. Yeah, that's actually a good question because I just dropped con. April 5th is going to be the second annual Video Game Expo in Rancho Cordova, California, because that's a happening con town. Yes, that is absolutely sarcasm. Last year it was May the 4th weekend. This is something that it's a brand new con that they had me come through in the very first one. And I did the Boffer lightsaber demo for this con, that little workshop. They're asking me to come back. I actually need to get a hold of her probably tomorrow. And we need to discuss what type of workshop I'm going to do at that con, which is going to be a really small one again. It'll be for like 10, 12 people is the goal. It needs to be video game related, and that was the last time I remember talking to her about it. But it takes place at City Hall in Rancho Cordova, because that's still a reasonable size facility, because they've actually got an okay size facility. For the con, it's in one of their bigger meeting rooms, as well as the actual council chambers is where the panels and costume contests and stuff take place. It's a little con. It was fun. So it's fun to come back again, and it's great that it's local for me. You know, yeah, I really appreciate that. That makes it nice. I can smell that hot glue. That means it's probably hot. So what con is it? Yeah, it's called the Second Annual Video Game Expo. I put a link for it in Discord. I don't have it with me right now, but in the con photos section on the Odin Makes Discord, I dropped a link for the Eventbrite for that con, because the tickets are still free. It's actually the city of Rancho Cordova is sponsoring the con, between giving them the space and then giving them a small operating budget through city grants for doing public outreach. That's kind of how the con's getting funded. So for the time being, the tickets are still free, which is kind of cool. Richard Stroh, hey Odin, since I'm making wands for you and Felicia, how do you want yours? That's awesome, Richard. So I was just talking about neutrino wands, and you're talking about making wands. So I'm immediately assuming you're talking about making Ollivander's style wands, where, you know, having one of the unicorn hair core and another with a phoenix feather core would be really cool. But I'm not sure which type of wand you're talking about. How do I want mine? Going along with Ollivander's, I've always been Ravenclaw, so whatever would be Ravenclaw appropriate. Oh, look at the smoke coming from a hot glue gun. No wonder I can smell it. Or fumes, which I guess smoke is fumes. Distractions. Whatever would be Ravenclaw appropriate for a wand would be really cool. And that's generous as all hell, and thank you very much. Appreciate that. Luz Cossi says, yeah, building props can be a rabbit hole. Hell yes! I'm 5 projects behind. Too much life interference. 100%. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, yeah, if you want to become, if you suffer from ADHD, which I probably do, and then you want to be a creative building type, then you get the burning fire to get a project going. And for me, usually that fire is exciting, and I can keep it going for as long as it takes to figure out the puzzle portion of the build. There's some piece to it, some element that catches my attention, that's the challenge piece. And if that works, everything else will work. And so working up to that point, getting up to that point is fun and challenging, and I know what's coming up. And once I've got it, and once it's working, every other element to that project is work just to get it finished. It is no longer fun because, hey, you know, dopamine successfully granted, it's working, who cares, on to the next thing. This is why I've gotten sick and tired of painting. That painting is no longer giving me that kind of a reward. It is just a process that needs to be done. Took me a while to come around to realize this. So yeah, I can totally understand being 5 projects deep. So there's one project that's been canceled, which is nice. There's 2 others that are in process. One's in a box. Another one is standing up in another room. I've got this project. I started working on the Odin scale Lego stuff again during the last stream, practically. I've got a video that's actually in post-production. That's a project. I realized what I want to do from my April 1st video. That's an upcoming project. Yeah, I get it, being behind. And it's really hard to keep those things going. And coming back around to how long till I think I'm done with this one. Having all those other pieces, as well as the projects that I have to get done just to get paid for my day job. Because those projects are still projects I have to do, even though they're not fulfilling for me until I make some element of it fulfilling. Oh, now I want to see the stuff you do for work? No, you don't. The most recent video I completed is how to fill out paperwork for law. So, no, you really don't. So I understand how it can be difficult to get projects going and be 5 projects behind. And I hope you can understand how it is difficult for me to keep a train of thought and give an estimate on how quickly I can get something done. Or what time do I think it'll be finished. Well, there we go. I cut through to the second layer finally. What are you doing, Odin? I am still carving out a cable trap. What I realized was the little... Even though I made a widened V-groove, by the time I glued this cable in, I wouldn't have room to put anything else in there. And so what I want to do is make sure... talking through it, let's just cut a big enough hole that I don't have any regrets in the future. At the same time, you don't want to cut it so big that the pack falls apart and you have regrets in the future. But basically all I'm doing is I'm cutting, there's 2 layers of floor mat foam right here, and I am cutting through one layer to the, you know, and you got a camera, we can see it too. Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm cutting through the one layer of foam. This is the bottommost layer. Better watch where I'm pushing it so I don't push stuff off the table. I'm cutting through this top layer. This is going to be the bottommost layer that's going to attach to the wooden motherboard. This is a secondary layer that you can kind of see in the hole here. There's 2 layers of foam. So this is the next layer of foam. I've cut down to the diamond plate pattern on it. So I've got, except for this end up here, I've got pretty much a foam's worth of thickness in this channel that I can then push wires through for future mods to this Proton Pack. And had realized that once I was getting ready to put this wire in and then add hot glue to it, it was not going to have enough channel to do anything else. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't screwing over future Odin, and wanting to make sure that I had enough space in here to... Got a very small... my window, what I can see, is smaller than that videotape I was showing earlier. I want to make sure that I have enough space, thank you, Ryobi, to be able to push wire through this thing. Look at it bubble! Yeah! Look at it bubble and smoke! Yes, kids, this hot glue is hot. Stick your finger in it, Odin. It's going to burn. I can almost guarantee it. No, we know from Cosplay Repair, and I'm sure a lot of you, you poor bastards that have helped me at Cosplay Repair have already figured this out personally. This mini hot glue gun from Ryobi is hot enough to blister you. I mean, a lot of hot glue guns are, but for a battery-operated, cordless, this thing will blister you without a second thought. There we go. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and do more cable management and stick it along this wall here where you can't see. Oh, and you just talked about thermal shock with hot glue, not using it on stuff or not trusting it, but you're putting it onto your yeah, because it's going onto foam. So I'm not too worried about it. Also, by the time these things roll around in the back of a car in the Sacramento heat, the plywood's going to be glued on over it. So if the cables come loose, it's okay because they'll still be in their permanent home. So effectively, not terribly worried about it. I think I should probably get... can I turn the zoom assist off? I think I should probably get... So I touched the camera because if you double click the power button, it gives you the 5 times digital zoom, which is really helpful to show a little thing. But if I turn it off, then you can actually see the whole Proton Pack. I've got the wires that come from the electronics that we want to use, and then I've got the individually addressable LED lights in here that we originally put in, because that was our original plan when we were going to hardwire this whole thing with Arduino way back in the day. And that plan has changed. And I'm on the mouse. Did I close something important? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh yeah, this was put in with double-sided duct tape. I remember that. Hey, it worked pretty good. I'm actually having to tug on it to pull it off. It's not just falling out. Hey kids, double-sided duct tape worked, carpet tape, whatever, worked really good for sticking these LEDs in. Individually addressable LEDs. There we are. Yeah, I actually have to wire it up. Yeah, the hot glue is already letting go. I actually have to wire it up, and I actually have to figure out what the pattern is. Oh, wow. The rubberized bit just fell off. I realize I can't just grab the LEDs from the light kit and just stick them in willy-nilly. I'm going to need to figure out the timing to make sure that this pack is running counterclockwise or counter-rotational to the other pack, because that way, no matter what, one of us is right. Okay. I don't think I need this anymore. I love the fact that rocket props, not rocket plops. Jeez, that's something else entirely. Sent these ceramic blades. I got a laugh from the other room. Sent these ceramic cutting blades with their bevel. He recently did an Instagram post about his bevel, where he cut a Hyrule shield, and because all the elements on the inside of the Hyrule shield are beveled to make it raised, yeah, it was a pretty cool post. And what's fun is I think I talked to him about doing that potentially a few years ago. So if that was a conversation he remembered and he actually went through with, fantastic. If he had totally forgotten, figured it out all on his own again, fantastic. Don't care. But it was kind of like, oh, hey, I remember talking to him about that. I wonder if that's connected. Council cons, only political cosplay. I choose House of Dragon. Oh, dear. Zelda Heroes here. Wow, I actually missed a lot of things. Cool. Dan Does Junk tells me to get a camper for my truck and Ecto 1 it out. It's already white and beat up. He left that part out. It's not too beat up. It's actually... Carrier Con. Hey, Odin, how's it going? Sorry I caught the end of that sentence. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay, Zelda Hero. I don't know what the sentence was, but yeah, as far as I know, I'm okay. But there's 3 of us here in chat who all have arm injuries. I'm okay. Felicia's okay. She's just off having fun today. There it is. Dan Does Junk posted the link to the 2nd annual Video Game Expo. like half an hour ago, but I'm catching up. Like wands in Harry Potter, and I can 3D print a raven head in the pommel. Oh, that'd be awesome, Richard. I mean, hey, just because I'm the Witch of the West doesn't mean I can't have a generous side. It's all good, Richard. Witch of the West? Well, I'm on the West, Richard. What counts as West for you? I mean, are you like Western Europe or Western U.S.? In the words of the epic rap battle, I did it for the effing money. Yep. Oh, wow. Dan is doing the... Oh, wow. Catching up. Sorry, guys. Oh, jeez. Lewis, you can always attach a Harry Potter wand to the Ghostbusters pack. Spectre Bustolium! Still have a scar. Safety third. Yep. Are you going to use Ryobi battery for your power cell? Yes, I am. That was part of the plan. Because it seems to me like... Have I been on this the whole time? Have I been here? Sorry. Have I not been on screen? I've been trying to talk to you guys. I've been looking at the project for like 20 minutes. Yes, the plan is to take a Ryobi battery. This one's a beefy one. This is one of the oversized ones. But there's enough pack space here. Even this oversized double thickness one barely fits. So it would fit here without a problem. That was my first plan. Then you or somebody else wise pointed out that speakers usually go here. So instead, we'll probably put the battery up here, which it still fits. And the half size, the normal size battery, which is only as tall as this gray line down here, like this, they're behind me, I'd get one, but it's like 3 steps away. That should fit up here. And so the plan is to put a power cell into this pocket and to power the whole thing, which will undoubtedly power it all day long, because it may not, but well, it will. It'll power it for the entire con, pretty much guaranteed. I run. There's the low end Ryobi batteries. Now I am going to walk over here. I basically have 2 flavor of Ryobi batteries that come in various sizes for runtime. So at the lowest runtime, the shortest runtime, I got 2 flavors of batteries, and I can feel the difference. There's this one, which is your plus performance, or high performance, it says on the side. Come on, pack, get out of the way. So there's this one, and then there's this one. I was forgetting my point. Maybe I don't exactly have one, which is still the same thing. It's 18-volt lithium, right? It's gets 1.5 amp hours. That means it will run for an hour and a half, providing an amp's worth of battery power. This one is 2 amp hours, so this will give you 2 hours of battery life, providing 1 amp of power for an hour, right? So, this battery produces 25% more than this, whatever the math is. This battery in the head of Mechagodzilla will keep his 2 eyes lit and glowing for almost 24 hours straight. This one goes for about 26. So I plan on putting one of these into the backpack. Again, we'll get a thing, and so it connects and just drops up in here, and it'll just be something like this. The piece will come out, we'll connect it, and we'll just put the piece back in and put the door on it, and that's it. And this will certainly power the backpack longer than I want to wear it. So that's my plan for powering the packs. And with the criteria of it running longer than I want to wear it, I'm confident for it running for as long as I care. Plus, I've got a dozen of these. Thank you, Ryobi. So powering more it makes it pretty easy. And at this point, all my friends at R2 and the D Squad, most of their droids are being powered off of the Ryobi batteries. They were using golf cart batteries, which have a longer runtime and a deeper draw, but take a lot more to charge. They're not as user friendly, and they're not as readily available. So he's actually changed most of his droids to run off of Ryobi batteries, and it's great because now we swap batteries and swap chargers at cons all the time. And yeah, I got stickers on most of my batteries, so I know which ones are mine. You know, because you just put a sticker on something and it's mine forever. No one will ever possibly steal it because that's not the point. It's just so you can remember. So yeah, Lewis, I'm planning on using Ryobi from my power cell. I need to strap it down to not blow out the electronics. Told you they're amazing. Ceramic blades. Yes, they are. Richard lives in Cali. Oh, nice. Jake Drake is here. Oh my gosh, Odin, hi. Huge fan of the channel. Made a right-handed Doom based on your templates. Did my own details, but used your right-handed Doom for heavy reference. That is awesome. Going to make the Samaritan at some point. I love the fact that you're calling it the Good Samaritan, Jake, because that was my mistake. Please, everyone, double check me if I'm saying something wrong. He only ever called it the Samaritan. There's the Good Samaritan. It's a classic piece of literature. And I called the gun that when I made it in the video. But I think it's just called the Samaritan in the movie because it's just the peace-giving weapon, right? It's just I'm gonna bestow a freedom from your evil on you, is the idea behind the Samaritan pistol. I don't think it's actually called the Good Samaritan. I think I said that incorrectly. Sorry. Justin's here. Yes, I will let Felicia know you said hi. Stickers just means it's limited edition. Yep, that's it. Okay, so Oculus is asking me if I'm going to wire in an on-off switch in the Proton Pack, or am I just going to yank the battery out? Yes. Right now, the electronics that we have, because I'm not with Mechagodzilla, I just yank the batteries out because it's just a pair of 12-volt truck lights, right? Who cares? I mean, it's a battery, it's a voltage converter or regulator, and two yellow LED truck lights, and that's all that the electronics are in Mechagodzilla. The packs already have a power switch built in for the circuit board that I purchased. And so I can easily see having this, what I'd love to do, but this is, totally a, hey, Shop Gremlin, can we do this thing? Is attach this to a multi-pin cable so it wires all the way out to the Trina wand, so we have switches like this on the wand that actually turns the pack on, actually turns the wand on if it needs to be separate, actually turns the sound mechanism on if it needs to be separate. I would like to have switches on it. I think that would be far more user-friendly than having to take the pack off my back and undo a panel in order to get to the battery to yank it out. So yes, for the Proton Packs, I would like to put in power switches and power buttons. However, Mechagodzilla, no, screw that guy. He's fine the way he is. A power switch would still be convenient because when he's set up at a con, I walk away every night and go, whatever. The battery can just die. I'm exercising the battery, right? Just let it run down. Is it warped or actually curved? It looks like it. Yes, Advixen. Currently, the pack is warped because it's lying on its uneven face. But when I glue the motherboard on, if I actually get to that today, I've only been saying that for an hour now. Hey, look at the time. It's almost noon because the time changed, but the clock didn't. Turn pack on, take a few steps backwards. Yeah. Now when I think of Ghostbusters, I think of Dragon Ball Z abridged with Ghost Nappa. I'm not getting that one. Nice, Odin is live. Hey, Jalapia 101 or 0101. Yep. Arya is saying, speaking of right-handed Dune, Ron Perlman is going to be at GalaxyCon in San Jose later on in this year. So absolutely, you can get your right-handed Doom signed by Ron Perlman, who, as I understand, is still a sweetheart of a guy. He's just a huge guy and enjoys the fans and enjoys meeting people still, even though, he's Man, that dude's been in movies forever. Ron, sign my Quest for Fire prop. I think that was one of the first things he was in. Certainly one of his first starring roles. Not that he had a speaking part. Justin's asking for Godzilla next time. We can Proton Power. Just Jake Drake is. I appreciate that you guys are starting to ask about, you know, video stuff. I wanted to ask, would you ever be making a prop from Power Rangers, like a helmet or the Blade Blaster or a Morpher? I made the Red Ranger's sword. Unfortunately, that's the only one I've made so far. I really want to make Rita's staff. We really want to make Pink Power Ranger stuff because Felicia's got the pieces in a bag ready to go for making the Pink Power Ranger outfit, but she doesn't want to bother starting that until she has Pink Power Ranger props. So, yes, we want to make more. I even got some local musician friends to make a kick-ass Power Rangers sound-alike theme song for us to use in the video, and I still haven't used it for anything else because it hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. We need to make the Green Ranger flute knife. But yeah, I would like to make more Power Rangers. I would like to make more props. I'd like to make more videos. I need to. It has taken a very long time to get out of a very negative headspace that I was in. That I had dug myself into a very deep, emotional, negative headspace. And I have been feeling so much better over the past few months / year. Yeah, I'm at a point where I want to make videos. I actually want to make videos. I've actually started to make videos. So now I just need to start finishing videos. All of which means that Power Ranger props are definitely a possibility. That's right, Odin. You use 1, 2, 3 blocks to shore up the underside of the pack so it would behave, and you could start gluing it. Then also, as I recall, I still had to braining. See, this is me trying to do something physical and thinkable at the same time of trying to use your words, Odin. Screw my words. I had to do this last time when I glued it because I had to support parts of the pack in order to make it be basically flat so I could start gluing the motherboard on. You know, a problem you're not going to have if you're not building it out of foam. You know, this is where I want it to be. Probably should start down here. Why does it feel like this is totally off? I'm going to get a clamp. Screw this. I say that. Oh, there we are. I don't have any clamps over here. You got a clamp enough? Come on, Harbor Freight. Don't fail me. Oh, wait. It's Harbor Freight. Am I putting this on right? No, it's backwards. No wonder it's not fitting right. If you put it on the right way, it might work better. Boy, I'm glad I didn't just start squirting glue. Yeah, I'm good. Let's go. Hey, look, that fits so much better. It's not like I marked it which way goes out or anything. Hey, look. The facets at the bottom of the cyclotron line up. I was kind of curious why that wasn't lining up right. The little knockouts and ridges are all starting to line up. Wow! It's like it was designed to fit this way or something. Yeah, that wall's lining up. Okay, good. So clamp. No, I can't clamp there. That's too big. Can I clamp here? I don't think I can clamp at all. All right. The clamps! We'll start in the middle, because that sounds like a great place to start. Nothing could go wrong if you start in the middle. That's sarcasm. Use your left hand to hold it together so you can use your right hand to huff fumes. Remember, kids, wear a respirator. Anybody else got the Jeopardy theme in their head, or is that just me? Okay. Cool. Jake just started the Thunderbolts Red Guardian cosplay. Right on. Paracoins would look awesome in Nordic Gold, Ralph. They absolutely would. So the 3D printed Morpher belt buckle out of molten cast of metal eventually. Yes, Ralph would absolutely love to get some Nordic Gold or whatever the. When I tried to do the power coin for the Ranger's sword, I did like the simplest, most horrible. I think I thinned. Didn't I thin 100% silicone caulking with a little bit of vinegar? I think. Or was it just straight silicone caulking in order to get like a crappy dollar store mold? It worked of a morphing coin that I 3D printed with layer lines. So at this point, you can tell it's supposed to be the T-Rex. Oh yeah, that's supposed to be the T-Rex, isn't it? That's how good it is. No, that'd be awesome. Soromon staff, one of my favorite crafters in it. Thank you, Richard. Wait, it's Harbor Freight. Jake Drake says, I know it'd be cool to see the Red Guardian shield from the concept art and What If, since he never uses it in the movie. Oh yeah, he didn't use it in the Black Widow movie, huh? But he's probably going to use it. Hopefully he's going to use it in Thunderbolts. No, he didn't, huh? No, he did. He did. He had a fight with in Black Widow in the hallway. I mean, he barely used it. But yeah, basically, yeah, I could make the Red Guardian shield. In fact, that would be a real easy cash grab. But what would end up happening is it would be nearly identical to the last two shields that I did, because I still don't know of a better way to do it. So yeah. Sure. You know, what could I do to make that different? What could I do to make that more detailed? Well, I suppose if I wanted to make the Red Guardian shield, and if I wanted to make a video out of it and do something new with it, I could laser cut the piece of shit first, fully etch all the design onto it so it's all correct, then stretch it over a yoga ball and go on with making the shield. I suppose I could do that. That would be a small spin on it that would be different from the last one I did. But with the Captain America shield, where I used a pin, I found the center point, and I did it all by hand, I think makes it a lot more accessible. But yeah, well, would that be fun? Oh, you used Taskmaster shield. Is that what it was? Oh, okay. Sometimes remaking old props helps me prove my flaws. Yes, Justin, that's the way. What's wrong with a cash grab? Nothing right now. When's that movie come out? How much time do I have? I've still got a Red Guardian helmet that Jerry Can Cosplay sent me. So I've got the helmet still, and I've pretty much got the gut for it. So, you know, this isn't a bad plan. What's wrong with the cash grab? Nothing. Especially if I admit that's what the hell it is right up front. I think everyone will think it's funny. That would probably be the best upcoming popular thing I could do. Well, I'm having a real heck of a time getting the glue up in here. Yep, it fell. And I got glue on the case. I dripped. Okay, we're going to stop there. Rock clamps out, Odin. Try using the clamps. This one's not holding glue, so move it to somewhere that you put glue. I'm laughing because somebody at work recently took apart their home gym and gave me like 8 pieces of heavy-duty floor mat foam. This is the slightly better stuff than what you get at Harbor Freight Tools. That's a bit denser. They probably bought it at Costco or somewhere else where it cost way too much. So I'm just laughing. It's like, yeah, I've even got floor mat foam I could make the Red Guardian shield out of. I think there's details on it too, right? You guys got me thinking about it. There's details on it too. The star is actually raised on his shield, isn't it? It's actually embossed. It's not just flat like Cap's shield. What about U.S. Agent? You can make U.S. Agent shield? Recently rewatched the show. Recently rewatched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is the introduction for it within the MCU of the character U.S. Agent. This is John Walker coming on as Captain America, replacing Steve Rogers after Endgame because storylines. And there's more reasons to it. I mean, how much of the show do you want me to explain? Anyway, so this John Walker character, of course, has a fall from grace and ends up in a montage crafting his own shield in a garage. I mean, no joke. When you watch the show, it is presented as it's not Tony Stark's workshop. It's not an MCU workshop. It's a dirty acetylene torch garage, which means he made it out of steel. Steel. I don't care if it's 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch thick steel that the super soldier is carrying around because he can. I think the other super soldiers are going to fold that thing up like a wet tortilla. I think some of the high caliber MCU weapons are going to tear through it like aluminum foil. I just, the entire time I'm watching it going, what the hell? What do you do? Why? You're going to throw this thing and it's going to bend and it's not going to come back because it's not made out of vibranium where it's going to absorb and deflect the energy so it can bounce off shit like an air hockey table. It's going to go and stick. Or am I wrong? Do I misunderstand MCU physics? Yeah, it's a lot more detailed than Cap's. Cool. Have I worked on Buck Rogers props? Asked William Wells. I haven't, but I've thought about it. I thought about Buck Rogers, I thought about Flash Gordon, and I thought about Da Vinci. Those are 3 places I've thought about for making props and designs that I thought would be fun. And for Buck Rogers, I guess Flash Gordon as well, there's 2 different eras. It's specifically easy to do props from. So you got the classical, pulp, fiction. Yeah, that's right. That's such a movie. The pulp novels, and comic book, and serial movies, and then you got the '80s movie, and that's true for both Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers. Even though Buck Rogers kind of became more of a TV show, I still think it was the movie first, and then became the TV show. Unlike Battlestar Galactica, which just had a double long premiere that they happened to play in the movie theater. So as a kid, I remember seeing the Lauren Green starring, I can't remember anyone else, Benedict Cumberbatch? No. Yeah, those guys. The original Battlestar Galactica. There wasn't any before it. I remember seeing that in the movie theater, and so for many years, I kept thinking it was one of those movies that became a TV show, and it wasn't until less than 10 years ago, reading some history on it, realized that, oh no, that was the 2-hour TV premiere. They happened to play in theaters as well. But with Buck Rogers, I think it was legitimately a movie that became a TV show. Really like John as a character. Can't wait to see him come back in Thunderbolts. Yeah, actually, it looks like... I bet John's going to be a really cool character in Thunderbolts. Because, yeah, he's... Like Loki, he's got a lot of redemption arc he can go through. And Loki has become one of my favorite characters. Jake says, going to have a busy year doing the Thing from Fantastic Four, Red Guardian, Goldar, and Superman. Yeah. Oh, nice. GoFundMe on... So Shop Gremlin has a GoFundMe right now, everyone. I talked about this last stream as well, because this does actually benefit me as well. It makes it really hard because I feel like I'm begging for money. But there is a GoFundMe currently with Shop Gremlin, because there was assistance that Shop Gremlin was getting that has been cut to zero. And not only has been cut to zero, but there's a good possibility that it's probably that there's going to be more than a small car's worth of money that's going to have to be paid back. So not only did Shop Gremlin in one email lose a third of their income, they are also potentially having to make those payments back on top of it, which means their income is potentially reduced to 33 to 25% of what it was in February. So the GoFundMe is here to help them get back on their feet, to eliminate, basically is to help eliminate some of the outstanding debts that require payments. If those go away, then everything else becomes manageable. So the GoFundMe is absolutely an effort to try and keep from drowning. Bankruptcy is mostly an option. Bankruptcy can get rid of this debt we're trying to GoFundMe to get rid of. It won't get rid of the other stuff that's owed. That won't go away outside of an appeal. Bankruptcy will cause so many more problems in so many other areas that it is absolutely, it has to be a last resort, and is just not a good choice. It will eliminate the ability. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you've taken a 12 to 15 year step backwards. That's kind of what would happen with bankruptcy, but at a point in life where you're not going to recover those 15 years. You're not going to recover and get back to where you are now 15 years from now because you had to take it that much of a step backwards. So the GoFundMe is to help Shop Gremlin survive. And by proxy, it is going to help me because Shop Gremlin and I are actually living together and are sharing some expenses. So this does affect me, but this isn't me asking. I mean, I'm asking, but this isn't asking for me. This is me asking if anybody can help fund the GoFundMe to help take care of Shop Gremlin. I would super appreciate it. And because of this is why no other bells and whistles are going to go into this project. That this just needs to get finished the way it is, because I can't afford to do that anymore. A lot of you have already helped. A lot of you have already helped a lot. Dan Does Junk has helped a lot, and in no way by me asking again, am I trying to ask anybody who's already helped to help again? Because it's only been 2 weeks. Just the word's got to get out to other people, and so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to other people. The link is also in the description of the video in case you're watching on mobile, which makes it really hard to scan a QR code. If anybody has empathy, if anybody has the ability to help, if anybody wants to recognize, or not recognize, but wants to, if you realize the issue of having not just the rug pulled out from underneath you, but most of the floor as well, is a nearly life-crippling problem, this GoFundMe is here to help reestablish that and help to eliminate that problem. Soften the fall. To follow up with that analogy, is to help soften the fall of having the floor pulled out from underneath you, not just the rug. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me. I feel, yeah, I need to do this, but I don't feel good doing it. Appreciate you letting me beg, and on behalf of somebody else, but I'm connected, so it makes it really hard because it feels like I'm begging, right? It's funny that on Discord I've had other members who have had big problems, and I was like, oh yeah, no problem, and I was happy to share and happy to help because that's something I can do. I can share to help. But this is so close to home, it feels wrong to ask, and I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. I'll have to leave it at that. Let's get back to gluing and talking about John. I already forgot his name. Vintage prop builds would be cool to see. Yes, it would, Lewis. Thought about that a while ago, especially with the Da Vinci. I thought like building a Da Vinci design as a prop would be fun. You know, who cares if I actually made it mechanically work as long as it looked right. Okay, I want to glue the middle, because if I glue down the middle, I can then pry the edges up a little bit. And where's the one that says Rennie? No, that'll just probably not work the way I think it will. Yeah, you can't put super glue into a hole, have it drip on the table, and expect it to work in the backpack. That just, it doesn't work that way. Touch, and it's stuck. Well, hopefully it's in the right spot, because it's stuck. Okay, I'll stop there because I feel like I'm getting away from myself. So I'm going to bring this up. Now I was able to clamp here before, right? I should clamp again. The clamps. No. I like that Futurama robot character. I hope nobody else is annoyed that I keep quoting him. You know, why don't I use gravity as a friend? Why don't I use gravity as a benefit instead of trying to fight it the whole time? Because that would make sense. Now I touched the tip of the bottle with glue on it to the surface that had accelerant already sprayed on it. So chances are I'm going to have to break the crust off the bottle before I can move on. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm not glued to the table. That's nice. How about an Iron Giant helmet? Oh, that'd be cool. You know, William Wells, I went to a con, a tiny little con up in Victoria, Washington, back in like 2018. And yeah, they were building like a half-scale cardboard Iron Giant. It was one of those great things that it looked really good, and the guy had great plan, and he was trying to throw lots of volunteers at the project. Bear, I think his name was. May not be, and he's not watching, so. But they had, like, from the waist up finished, right? And it was 2 days before the con, and they were crunching hard, and he was confident they were going to get the legs and feet finished. And I didn't know, right? I don't know how fast this guy can work. I don't know how fast his assistants and volunteers can work. Maybe they can get the Iron Giant's legs done. They're basically big articulated tubes with cartoon feet, right? They're not nearly as detailed as the head and chest. Yeah, not quite. They got enough done that you knew what it was, and he sat in the hallway with one leg up, and he had the basics there. But yeah, unfortunately, that he never got painted either. He was just cardboard, but that's okay. You knew who he was, and he was still cool, and people still took pictures of him and took pictures in front of him. This is the con where I got to meet Doug Jones, and he signed my Right Hand of Doom, even though that's a weird cross-character thing. It was just Ron Perlman was supposed to be there. Doug is such a fantastic guy. He was so cool to get to talk to and meet. Yeah, so the cardboard Iron Giant was great, and it was neat to see that I'm not the only one that has a huge problem with understanding the amount of effort and time that goes into building something versus the perception of time while doing it. That there is a time dilation that occurs while you're hyper-focused on a project and working on it, to where time moves by faster than perceived, so it feels like you're getting more done than you are. And this isn't just because I'm talking to my friends on the internet. I've just seen it on more than one occasion. It's like, oh, this is great, how's it been 5 hours? So, yeah. So I remember correctly, last time Lewis said, don't worry, nobody's motherboard lines up. That's just the way it works. Because I've turned this thing around and realized the motherboard cutout for the pack is 4 millimeters off from the foam of the pack. But it matches on that side. This kid's the difference between hand cut and hand glued versus machine cut. And still hand glued. But hey, at the end of this stream, we're going to have a motherboard glued onto both packs, which means we can actually start moving forward and doing frickin' anything else. I'm going to do some large globs of glue. Oh, there's a hole there. Well, shit. Do some large globs of glue and get glue all over my cutting mat. Some large globs of glue and let it run with gravity in order to grab the foam that I can't get the bottle to. And then I'm going to drop it and have all the nuts and washers of the switch fall off. Wow. Okay. Don't smack your LEDs. They do not appreciate that. At this point, I'm just going to smoosh it and hold it. Can I put tension on this to keep it down and still walk over so I can focus on? Yes, Dan Does Junk posted the GoFundMe. That's awesome. If anybody wants to just if anyone is so dang generous to just do a super chat right here, that'll help too. But honestly, the GoFundMe's better. If you cannot financially donate, please share the link. Yeah, absolutely. Not trying to ask anybody to hurt themselves in place of trying to help. No, don't. If you can't donate, don't. Louis Cosplay asking if I ever considered a Looney Tunes style Acme prop building. I did Donkey Kong barrels. Is that close? That would be fun though. The technical term for mistakes in Ghostbusters gear is called wonk. Ha! Nice. So if the mistake, what was it? The mistakes in Ghostbusters gear, if the mistake is called wonk, then it is appropriate to call your backpack wonky because it contains wonk. Is that right? Because I like the term wonky. I'm familiar with that. Danny Phantom. Was stuck under a desk. Did Odin just ask gravity to be a friend with benefits? Yes! Yes, it did! God, the time perception thing is so true. Yeah, I've had it happen multiple times. Happened to me with my 89 Batman Ghostbuster cosplay. I guess there is an 89 Ghostbusters, sort of. 89 Batman cosplay. I looked at my phone when it was 2 in the morning. Yep, hyper-focused on it and finished it in 3 days. Yeah. I'd love to have an action figure of the robot from... Wasn't there some sort of a robot toy? So the very first Tom Baker episode of Doctor Who, Tom Baker being the 4th Doctor from the long-running BBC TV show Doctor Who. This is the 4th Doctor from the... Oh, geez, super chat. The 4th Doctor from the original series. So this is like mid-70s when Tom Baker was the Doctor at Doctor Who. I believe his first episode when he regenerated for John Pertwee was the robot, which is very much an Iron Giant-looking type of robot. It's because it was a dude in a costume, in a big, oversized, probably cardboard costume. I swear wasn't there at one point in time some sort of action figure or PVC figure or something of the robot? I don't think it was just the Playmates Animates figures. I think it was something else that was nicer. I don't think because there was a really good figure run that the company did when David Tennant and Matt Smith were the doctors, and they actually made like a TARDIS set, and they were making 5.5 inch or 6 inch. I think they were like 5 or 5.5 inch, highly detailed, really good Doctor Who minifigures. It was when Doctor Who was at its height of the new series. I don't think they made a robot for that series, but I swear they made one. No, Richard, no, it's great. Thank you, Richard. Wonky donkey, yes. Yeah, Jake, if my mom hadn't come into the room, I would have kept going to the next day. Yep, mom's paying attention at the time and trying to pay attention to the fact that obviously you're not. Hey, look, I did glue it to the table this time. Oh, wow, yeah, I did. You're going to peel up the plywood. Okay, let's keep the electronics connecting bits, which I kind of don't need. Oh, wow, yeah, I got that glob good. Remember that glob that I talked about? There's a hole there? Yeah, I glued it to my mat. Ooh, all right. Got a ruler. My ruler. Did not grab one of my borrowed rulers from friends to use as a machete. There we go. The light came on. The motion sensitive light turned on. Okay. Don't turn it over onto the painted side and set it in the glue, you idiot. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh! And we got a $2 super chat from Shadow Legends Radio. Yes, K9 Robodog plus a Cyberman. Yeah. No, Doctor Who fans, yeah. The Tom Baker, John Davidson era of... Peter Davison, sorry. Era of Cybermen are my favorite. That era of Cybermen are the ones that I like the most. Yeah, they're slightly cheesier than the steampunk one that they've had more recently, but they've got more detail. And even though they're just a silver lame suit with some really cool fiberglass body parts, as opposed to an all steel-ish version, that look I like better. So yeah, no, Cyberman would be great. I've totally got the body to be a Cyberman, don't I? No. Hate to break it to you, Odin, but you got the body of a Dalek. Oh, cool. Yeah. Jake's got the TARDIS toy. Nice. Ruler spatula, right? Yeah, there was a plan maybe to turn the wheelchair into a Dalek, but not necessarily. Yes, by the way, Shop Gremlin uses a wheelchair on occasion. So if you ever see them at a con, they will likely be in a chair. Oh, cool. Jake Drake is saying cool things like Power Rangers, Doctor Who, Stargate, stuff from those things doesn't make it to the Czech Republic, so I've had to resort to asking family from Poland to get stuff for me or just making it myself. Jerry Can Cosplay, I'll donate when I can. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it. And everyone, please know that Jerry has donated a lot in the past. He's bought half my stock of Creature Cast. If you want to go back in time to 2 hours ago in this particular live stream. That's where it came from. Jerry was listening, went, that sounds like fun. I'll go ahead and get some. That is way appreciated. A little bit of tape. Got my power switch flopping around, so let's put... going to put the... there's a nut, and there's the lock washer, and then you've got the keyed surface panel. It's like a grip thing. It's to keep the switch from rotating, when it's in place. So up is up and down is down. Anyway, that little lock washer will put back in. And then the other flat nut go on top. I'm reassembling the surface mount thread parts for this switch because I do kind of want to keep them. Am I going to actually be using them? Well, decoratively, yes, but practically not really. Wow, it is not threading. It's because the topmost thread of the switch is cut for the key aspect of that lock washer, and so I can feel it cross-threading as I'm trying to put it on. Oh, this is compelling TV. What, did you turn it over and try it the other way? Yeah, I did. So I'll try it a third time. It's like a USB. It only goes on one of two ways, so it only takes 3 to 5 tries to make it work. Wow. It's warming up. So I got a heater on. Yeah, is there a timer? Oh, geez, there's in the super chat. Thank you. That one's orange. I'll look at that in just a second. So how do the super chats work? Those get added on to my next AdSense payment. They're not paid out separately. They're not paid out in advance. They get lumped in with. Ooh, oh! I finally got it threaded right. There you are. How long did that take, guys? So when a super chat comes through, there's no secondary payment from Google. You get it gets lumped in with your AdSense payout, and for me and probably everyone, everything that would happen within the month of March is all paid attention to, and on April 1st they start crunching the numbers and making sure they're not double paying on views because of how things bounce off servers. So on April 20th, payment is then processed and sent out to all of us. So whatever happens here in March, that payment will come on April 20th. I'll actually see it the 21st or 22nd of April. So that's how long there is of a processing time. Now, once you're into that rhythm, it's once a month, so great. But you know, to look at it from here, the €20 and $20 super chat that we just got from Dan Does Junk and Jerry Can Cosplay. Thank you guys both. Wow. Thank you. €20. Ah, thank you. That's very appreciated. All that's going to come through and will actually be funds that are available to Shop Gremlin on April 22nd or so. So, no, thank you. And Dan, both you and Jerry have been very, very generous with stuff in the past. Even before we were asking for help, you guys were generous, and so that's super appreciated. And anyone else who like you're saying in the chat, can't directly financially help because nobody is rich right now, sharing the information is just really good. So it does help. Okay, probably catch up on the chat. I think I've got all the edges glued down that I care to have glued down, which means I've got a motherboard on 2 Proton Packs. Still have half an hour. I still have time to break out Creature Cast, shake the hell out of it, and just try to brush it on and see. Oh, looks like I can put some glue here. I can fill a gap here. Remember the super glue called Zap-A-Gap, or was that just something that was only available in my area? It was still just the same basic style of canister, and it was whatever company. I can't remember the name of the company that made that super glue, but they would make. Nope, I'm confusing companies now. That was somebody else. It was just a super glue, but they would put whatever logo you wanted on their super glue, and then they would sell it. So hobby stores would have like personally branded super glue for doing Warhammer miniatures, but it was all the same super glue. But Zap-A-Gap was something I saw at an RC store, and a branded one. Yeah, anyway. Weird memories. Louis Cossi says, make Shot Croman's chair the jump seat from Ecto 1 and mount a pack to the back. Yeah, that'd be really cool, actually. Aria51 says, so how do you do super chats? You know, I don't know. I think there's a donate button or a dollar button underneath the stream. I imagine you click on that, and you probably have to have something set up with your Google Wallet, but I really don't know. It's just stuff started coming in, and it was amazing. Richard Stroh is saying, hey, Odin, can you make Eclipse's wand from a show called Star versus the Forces of Evil? Wow! Yeah, I do remember the name of that show. I do not remember watching it. All right. William Wells says, awesome, Jerry. Yeah, tap the dollar sign beside the chat box. Okay. Don't see a dollar sign. RX-75 gun tank with a chair. Okay. So on my end, so I'm seeing Chakram is saying if you change from top of chat to live chat or reselect top chat, it should show up between the emoji and the heart button. I've got a plus sign for engage with my audience. You know, not too surprising that I don't have a super chat feature for my live stream because I don't see one. But you know, yeah, carve yes. Wait, when I was little, that nickname Chakram 101, I used to wreck everything. Yeah, nice. Yep, Xena's props would be cool. Yeah, that's come up a couple of times. Xena. Too many brain fry. Hey, it's the end of the stream. Brain's starting to it's not quite the end. I got a half an hour to go, but it's close enough. My brain's starting to turn off already. Gonna just pile on the super glue. I remember having a friend basically try to make fun of me. You know, didn't really work because I didn't care. He's trying to tease me about how I didn't really build something. I just kind of made something that was just big enough to hold the putty that I would then sculpt what I wanted out of it. Not entirely wrong. You know, Matt wasn't entirely wrong, but, you know. Yeah, this gap's going to be too wide to do with straight super glue. I'll probably need to put something in there. Do I have something I can put in there? Here I am worried about a gap. Should I be worried about a gap? Probably not. I wonder if I got a piece of foam lying around. Alright, I'll use green, because green's totally the backpack color. So what I'm looking at, what I'm hyper-focusing on, is I've got this gap here, which you can't quite see, but anyway, there's a gap right here, where this piece of foam, I think even in the original plans, this was built to be a little longer, but it didn't match up with the motherboard, or I didn't, whatever happened, I've got a gap here that's about 4mm on this end that goes down to nothing by the time it gets up to the white frost from super glue here. So I'm going to take some of this 2mm EVA foam and sandwich it in here, and then as a filler, and put super glue over it to zap this gap, to use a term from earlier. Ralph, are you ending earlier today? No, I'm going to go until 2 o'clock my time, but I look up at the clock and that's like half an hour away, you know. And for doing a live stream for 3 hours, that's pretty close to the end. Not quite 3 hours. That's a minor exaggeration, but yeah, pretty much. Look at me, use scissors. As much as I wanted to tease poor Felicia about it. Okay. Have I still not super glued the end of this glue shut? That's kind of amazing. All right, so yeah, you know, I'm running super glue through it constantly because that's what I've been doing all day. But I've gotten so many times I've sprayed accelerant onto the project and then touched the bottle to it. I'm surprised that the nozzle hasn't sealed shut. I didn't quite slide it in far enough and it's set up. So we'll just cut that off. I'm going to add a little bit here and increase the wonky of the Proton Pack. Excuse me, the wonk. Now I want to make a wonk droid. Okay, first level. Okay. Yeah, Jake, no, you're not the only one that remembers Xena or Hercules or the other show that starred that guy from Evil Dead, because my brain's blanking on all that right now. It's like Briscoe County Jr., that was it, with Bruce Campbell. I want to call him William Campbell. Bruce Campbell. William Campbell, somebody else you know. Odin. Nobody else here knows. He's just somebody from around here. Nice guy, though. You guys get a chance to know him. Okay. Yeah, this isn't quite going to work out the way I want it to. It's going to work, but it's not quite going to work out the way I want it to. It's like I've already made the hole 2 millimeters less. Trying to get a shot. This is going to fall apart. It's going to be great. This is going to be this is a disaster in the making. Okay, there we are, and cut. So then we have this little bit of foam that we're just going to try to shove in here to fill up this gap. And the fact that it's not I'm trying to say, the fact that it's not square, I'm not letting bother me because it's a freaking Proton Pack. Missed. No idea how I seal up the end of these canisters. Don't know. No clue. It's a mystery. It's dripping and running. How's that looking? Well, it looks really good on TV, so who cares otherwise, right? It's green, Odin. It looks like crap. Yeah, it's just supposed to be filler. Bondo's freaking terracotta till you paint it, so. Yep. That's, there's a little bit of a gap over here still, but pack needs to breathe, right? Speaking of donations, I believe Dan donated all the super glue. That was more to Cosplay repair than Odin Makes, but it's in the garage. Okay. I just happen to have a paper plate that I was using for painting the VHS tapes. For those of you who are still with me now, but weren't here during the earlier portion of the stream when I was talking to all my friends on Discord, I've actually got a video in the works. I've got a video that I've started to edit. I've got a video that I have been fighting myself for a couple of days now to actually get a script written. Thank you for your help, phone. Get off my table. Joe Gillis came back over, and we finally got through with making a number of VHS tapes into promotional material and Kickstarter reward of his post-apocalyptic Joe in a what is it? Cinematic Wasteland. I want to say Atomic Wasteland. This is a book series that Joe's been working on, and he wanted to make a physical Kickstarter reward item that he could send out to you guys. So he bought a bunch of yellow VHS tapes because his book is all about post-apocalypse, but it's got loads of movie references. So imagine, the bombs went off, and it's for some weird way, all the things from 80s movies walked out and started to give you a bad time. That's kind of the way this book series works, and it's totally not serious. It's not as silly as Hitchhiker's Guide, but same type of humor. So we made a Kickstarter reward item, and last weekend we got all these done, so they're completely self-contained. I showed this off earlier, but some of you weren't here. So it's a VHS tape. It has an LED light inside. They're all signed and numbered, and the numbers are going out according to the people who signed up for stuff. Number 3 happened to have something special happen, so I got to have the low number there. But yeah, it is a legit VHS tape case. It doesn't have any tape in it, so this is a 0-minute tape because it's got leader from end to end, and that's it, clear leader. But yeah, it's got it's internally lit. It has a battery floating right here in the middle that's rechargeable. It's USB-C rechargeable from this side. It has the on-off switch buried in the Copy Protect Knockout section. So yeah, we got a number of these made. He shipped them out to all the Kickstarter rewards. I believe he got them all shipped out last week. But there's a couple of, this one's mine. There's a couple of extras that Joe still has, and pay attention to postapocalypticjoe.com, which I think is all it is, because there are still a couple of these tapes available for purchase. That because there were supplies made for a certain amount of Kickstarter rewards, and so those supplies were completed. But that gave him a couple of extras, and he's actually going to be taking some to a literature con that he's going to on the East Coast next weekend. I think no, it's in New Orleans, so it's not the East Coast, but he's making an extra trip to visit family, which mentally for me makes it East Coast, because to fly from the West Coast to the East Coast of the U.S. costs a certain amount of money. If you want to fly from the West Coast to New Orleans, which is down in the Gulf, so it's like the southern part of the eastern side of the United States, that costs a chunk of change. But if you wanted to make an extra stop in, say, Massachusetts or somewhere very north of this is up by LA versus down by Texas is kind of where it is. Hopefully those are big enough areas that those of you who don't know this country have an idea. It costs very little extra to add, what is effectively the entire trip extra to that trip. Whatever airplanes. So he's making an extra trip to visit somebody, but then he's going to go to his author's literature con thing that he's doing in New Orleans next week, I think it is. So he's got tapes going to that. All right, I need to shake up Creature Cast. I need to dig out Creature Cast. Yeah, here's a huge fear. I hope this stuff doesn't expire. I'm looking for a date on the shipping notice. All right, here we are. There's actually Manifest, and it is, oh, 22. It's not as far away as I thought it was. Oh, good. This is only a couple of years old. Literally, it's February 5th of 22 at 9:18 p.m. That's when the invoice got printed. That's not nearly as far away as I thought. Opened on 23. I even dated that. There's got to be a something somewhere talking about how you want to use it up within a certain amount of time. So this one was opened on October 21st of 23. That's when we started using this thing of Creature Cast. Yeah, I've got it upside down. I'm trying to shake solids around. So this can is only a year and a half old of being opened. The other stuff is older, but it's been sealed. What is... Does it tell me here? No. No? Okay. It must be on the website, but Creature Cast has a shelf life. One of the reasons why I don't mind throwing out to Aria 51 about spraying Stompy is I know it's got a shelf life, so I'd hate for this to completely just die. Briscoe only lasted a season or two. Yep. Cut it with a trim. I could, but I'm not worried about it. It's going to be painted. It'll just look like a bad weld. If you're talking about my thing, you're talking about something else, and sorry. Jake Drake says, oh, by the way, in case you didn't see it, thank you, Odin, for all the tips over the years and your videos. It's helped me a lot to get better at making props and cosplays. Thank you. You're very welcome. That's awesome. Thank you. That's why I enjoy doing this. Wanted to share. Shadowlands Radio is saying, I'm trying to figure out if I should do a live with the beginning of making some sticks into wands or just record it to video and upload it. Have a heater down here because it was cold, but it's not now. You probably want to do a video and record it. If you're not used to doing live, it's not easy. Getting over... talking to a... Nobody's here in the room with me, right? I know I'm talking to you guys because I'm used to talking on a telephone, so that's easy. I know I'm talking to someone, but nobody's here. I'm looking at a camera. I'm looking at a lens. I'm just talking to the people who are, on the other side of the planet, which is really cool. If you haven't done it before, if you're not used to a live presentation, if you're not used to trying to maintain the flow of something or just not freaking caring, which works too, you probably want to record it to the video. And here's something really hard when you are doing a video. You're going to watch it back and you're going to be so self-critical over how you said stuff. Not even what you said, but the fact that you've got extra clicks or gurgles in your laugh or you doubled up words or something like that. Stuff that you're not used to doing and all of us ignore when we're talking in person. You're going to hear it in video and you might be self-conscious. You might be self-conscious over that. And it makes it really hard to do the video editing. Don't worry about it. Just power through that. I do that. I still do that. I still yell at the Odin on the screen for saying something dumb. Like just now, I tried to say yell, but it came out as another word, but I think you guys knew what I meant. Those are things that I still struggle with. Those are things that one of the television hosts that I knew at PBS that I worked with constantly all the time, he was hypercritical of the presence he had on screen. This is just the way we are. So if you do want to record a video and you want to make a video, know that this is a common thing and that you are not alone. If you feel, you may not care. Maybe you're totally comfortable with it. Whatever, that's great. Then roll with it. But in case you're not, that this is something that all of us think about. This is something that all of us deal with, and it's very common, and so you're not alone. So just power through it. Put together the video to the best it can be. It took me a couple of months or more, and I was able to distance myself from the Odin in the chair, from the Odin on the screen. It became, I was editing this guy who shot a video, right? I was that distanced from it. So it helps a lot. There's still points in time when I go, oh yeah, I'm not going to let that out, and I'll cover it with B-roll. But yeah. Should you do a live wand if you've never done one before? Yeah, if you want a trial by fire, go for it. I would say record it first. Tell them to come to Baycon. Hell yeah, go to Baycon. Who's going to Baycon? Richard Stroh. I didn't know you could still get VHS tapes. I haven't seen one of those in years. Yeah, no kidding. I was surprised when Joe brought those over and brought them over in yellow. Oh, not the little ones, just the big bottle of Star Bond. Oh, okay. Oh, was it Arya that did the little ones then? Louis Cossey, he could have done an Evil Dead this series. It would have been a winner. He did. It was good. However, yeah, never use accelerant when using super glue with a brush. Yeah, no, you just added fibers to your super glue. Tell them to come to Baycon. It's literally Con of Santa Clara. Who's going to Baycon? Is it Bruce Campbell? Daredevil mask would be cool. Davros electric wheelchair. Yeah, we've talked about that actually. Rocketeer helmet and backpack. It would be cool. I've thought about that. It's also been on my possible list for a very long time. Oh, Shadowlands has done lives before. Okay. Oh, nice. Thank you for looking that up, Shock Gremlin. Creature Cast, particularly neoprene-based fluids, have an indefinite shelf life when stored properly and not exposed to freezing temperatures. We're in California. This is never freezing temperatures. It's cold, but warm compared to a refrigerator. So, yeah, we're good. It's actually really good to know that it doesn't have a shelf life. I've got a skin, which is probably good. Got it all over my fingers. You didn't bother to wear gloves, though. Yeah, I'll get enough to the stuff on my fingers and it'll work just like a glove. One of the fun things with this is it's milky, just like latex. It's kind of milky, so with the black tint in it, it's a dark gray versus the black, but it dries black. Latex rubber does the exact same thing. Set the bottle down, and let's see. Where's the green stuff? All I want to do is just totally miss the shot. All I want to do is just sponge it on. Now, I'm pretty sure Creature Cast will bond to Creature Cast that was sprayed a year ago. And if not, I'm going to find out in a hurry. See if I can't just smear some into the cracks over here again off camera. Sorry, I'm working faster than the non-existent cameraman can keep up. So I'm just got my sponge. This is exactly the way I painted the tapes, by the way. Sprayed spray paint into this plate. Get my torn up foam. It's not even really a sponge, but basically it is. And then just dab it on so it covers the wood, seals the wood. Sorry, that's this really small area and really hard for you to see from that distance. And thankfully the edges of the wood are burnt because they were laser cut, so they're black already. Hooray! Small wins. Now, if I was to do an MCU prop or a Star Wars prop or something else, MCU, well, Stompy's going to be different. Something that had to be really shiny and pretty and perfect, I would not sponge it on because I do not expect this to dry with a pretty perfect skin. But I'm trying to emulate the truck bed liner, cast iron look that I've already got going on the pack, the textured look that I've already got going on the pack. So I don't care if it's foamed up a little. It's foamed because I shook the hell out of it. But chances are this stuff is going to dry and settle and be okay anyway. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it on extra thick, because as soon as I set this on the counter behind me, it's going to be able to sit there for a couple of days and not get touched, and it should dry just fine. I'll be able to find out how well new creature cast bonds to old creature cast, like seriously old creature cast. I'll spread that out higher to make sure that seam is the transition of new and old. There isn't like a harsh glob. Painting a wall, you want to feather the paint out so you're not it's not as obvious where the new paint went. Again, creature cast is non-toxic. I mean, don't drink it, but getting it on my fingers and stuff, it's like working with acrylic paint. You just wash it off with water. You're not gonna. It doesn't meet the criteria of being a dangerous substance. Unlike Plastidip, which is full of xylene, toluene, not toluene, naphtha, and toluene's what's in Red Bull. All those fun things. Wow, I can pick this up by... Oh, yeah. It's nice having... Oh, okay, good. Okay, that's all the edges. That's all the front edges. So, at this point, all the front forward-facing or back-facing, outward-facing edges of the pack have got creature cast on them. I am going to do the flat side, the side that goes against the user and the Alice pack, but not today because I don't want this to glue down onto whatever the hell it is I'm setting it on, which in this case is not going to be the ribbon cables because I'm not going to screw those things up. But I do have another pack to do because this takes so long. Oh, this takes so much effort. Oh, gosh. It's like work. Okay. Sorry, I got quiet, paying attention to what I'm doing. This is the hard part about me. I can either craft or I can be an idiot on TV. I'm not really good at doing both at exactly the same time. I mean, I'm not bad. I've been doing it for years, but... It's because you're a cryptid, and the motion-sensitive light doesn't like you. Likes the lid of the freezer, though. This one still has the gaps from last week. I didn't seal this one up. Oh well. It's okay. Everyone's just gonna judge you. Yeah, this one's got the same gap. I think the original plan of the pack was to have things fit together differently, but because, hand cut versus machine cut versus wood versus foam, stuff doesn't line up. What a shock! What do you mean stuff doesn't line up? I mean, This thing was built in a cave by hand. All right. Yes, I could. I poured out more than I needed. I didn't really know how much I needed. I could pour this back. What I should probably do is paint my panels since they're out. This is a bit easier to do. I can't actually walk over, so my bad eyesight can focus on the small print of the chat. We've got... Tell them to come to Bacon. Okay, good. Helmet, I've done lives before. Good. Creature cast rubber, particular neoprene. Good. So I'm not too far behind. I'll be live on my gaming channel later doing more Minecraft. Oh, that's cool, Ralph. I probably should watch Ralph's live Minecraft. Ralph is a super nice guy, and I bet his Minecraft live stream is fun. See you later, gotta eat. Yep, doing the same thing. Very bought the super glue. Oh, Jerry bought the super glue. Okay, that's right. Thank you for remembering. I just can't keep it straight. Yet another major supporter of the channel and me and us is Jerry Rigged Props, and yeah, he's the one that bought all the... I'm filling in the speaker holes, so I'm trying to clear them. Had enough foamed up neoprene that it covered them over. Okay, one more viewer and like for Odin. Thank you, Rattlefuls. That's a perfect example, yeah. Okay. This is one of those things also that for years I got hung up on. You know, this got sent to me, and I purchased some at the same time because I knew it was coming. You know, in 22, right? And Ted always sprayed his with a spray gun setup and a spray booth setup, which I mostly had, but I had a lot of failure with, so I was afraid of it, and I wasn't using it, right? I wasn't utilizing my creature cast. And so with the Ghostbuster pack, actually getting to use some a little bit, and especially now with, we tried to put a texture on it, I really don't care, and I'll just sponge the heck out of it to give myself my my look. Can also tell it's getting towards the end of the stream because my voice is starting to hurt. I've been talking loud, talking in voices, and progress, and I can feel it in my voice. How long can you go, Odin? Well, I'm going to pull the other pack over, and I will untape the panels that are underneath it, and I'll paint them like this because the stuff in the plate's going to dry and go to waste anyway. I'm not going to put contaminated back into the bottle, so I may as well do this to all the panels because I need to anyway. There we go. Remember, I tape these on. Oh, be careful. You don't want to get creature cast in the back of your pack. It might get stained black. So this is effectively the plan for how the panels are going to work. Just need to get a little more of a hardware portion of it going. You know, I need to get a captive screw and nut that got let go of my fingers. Yeah, that's right. That was a tight fit. Oh yeah, that's gonna need some help. Ah, there we go. Oh, looks like I got super glue on it. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember that from last time. Well, let's just whittle that down a little bit. But what I want to do is I'm just going to take a small screw and I'll drill a hole through the plate. I will glue a panel on the inside of the motherboard on the back side. That's a sandwich of laser cut wood and a nut. So this thing can just set inside and it'll just screw into the nut. If I try really hard, I might be able to do it with a lock nut, but I don't really need to. A regular nut will be good enough. The pack may need to be lightly tightened before you go walking in a con. Eventually, from the motion of riding in a car and riding around on your back, those bolts in little machine button head bolt, just riding in a basic little bolt like a number 8 bolt. Screw at that point, it's just a screw. Could work its way loose and fall, but whatever. You know, it's such a minor thing. Basically, I'm dismissive of it because I don't think it is a possibility, but I don't think it is going to be a legitimate problem. There we go. There's some wording to go along with it, so it doesn't just sound like you're being wishy-washy and lazy, which I am, but that's not just what I'm doing. All right. So come on back in about 2 weeks, and we will be able to see how well this stuff dried. If things work out, maybe Felicia will make an appearance. And I suppose I need to make sure to dig out all my Q-Pack 3D printed parts, because it's time to start adding greebles and nurnies and gizmos, well, not the gizmo, to the backpacks, because that's where we're headed next. I need to make it's funny that, like, over a month ago, like the last time Felicia was here, I ran out first thing in the morning to make sure to get cable attachment pieces that I needed, the hardware pieces, to be able to hold the ribbon cable to the packs, and I still haven't touched those. I moved them today, but I still actually haven't put them onto the pack itself yet. So anyway, I'm going to, we're going to wrap up here in a minute. I'm going to get the other panel painted first. I'm going to have lunch, probably crash and take a nap, and then hopefully get some more editing done, writing done on the videotape video, so you guys will actually have something new to watch before the April 1st video comes out. So that's the plan. I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. I super want to thank those of you who threw out a super chat when I started talking about it. I want to thank all of you just for watching, just the simple tuning in and watching, giving me those likes, giving me the hours. I still get a little bit of money from AdSense from YouTube just for doing the live streams, and it helps. Everything helps. It's I am running out of neoprene. All of you, it's been a great pleasure to do live streams with you. It's been a great load of fun for years now to have the friendship and camaraderie of all of you, and especially of all of you whose names I recognize, even those I've never met. And all that's because of the live streams. There were certain names I recognized from comments in the videos, but doing the live streams really made it more personal and really put personalities to the names that I knew from chat. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being my friend, for being loyal fans, for watching, for supporting the channel by giving us your time. All much appreciated. Lego. I want to do a big Lego build still. I wonder how well the big slope pieces on Lego, the 45-degree slope pieces and the 33-degree slope pieces, the old roof tile pieces, have a texture to them. I wonder how well this texture sponge painting is going to work out, and if that would be a way of replicating it in an oversized Odin scale Lego piece. This one's pretty thin. I might have to do a second coat on this panel because I can see wood, because I am stretching what I got to try and get the last of this. There we are. Now I can click the mouse and get Creature Cast on the mouse. Looking forward to getting Creature Cast on my tacos in just a little bit. All right. Probably should use a non-dirty finger. All of you, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate everyone tuning in. Greatly appreciate you paying attention to the channel, contributing to the chat, asking me questions, and of course, the incredible generosity of doing super chats. I will be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully, Felicia will be back with me, and we'll be doing another live Odin Makes. And I am trying to get a video edited and out that hopefully will be out before the next live stream. So thank you all very much, and enjoyed watching you too, bro. Thank you, William. No, oh, Jesus. Yes, thanks to the live streams, I joined the Discord and found an awesome community of creative people. Thank you, Ralph. Yes, if you are in dire need of more Odin interaction during the week when I'm not doing a live stream, please check out patreon.com/OdinMakes. And if you join at the Discord level, you will get access to my private Discord, which has quite a few active members who post stuff there constantly. We're talking about cosplay, talking about TV shows, talking about stuff we cooked, talking about Minecraft. Yesterday we were playing some Among Us, and absolutely, please check that out if you want to talk with me or Dan or Shop Gremlin or Felicia more often, because we're all on there and we all talk. And I know Felicia's doing live streams, and I'm not sure. She was talking about not doing them as often. Something was coming up where she wasn't going to be able to do live streams as often as she was. But I don't know if that's still the case. But know that she enjoys doing those live streams over on her channel, Behind the Scenes Fashions, and she wants to continue doing that. And I know Dan has put out a couple of videos this year. He started working on a new Gundam helmet, as well as some Mandalorian gauntlets, and he's over on the Dan Does Junk channel here on YouTube. And then, of course, Jerry Can Cosplay is constantly putting stuff out, and so is Ralph Morick, who will be live streaming Minecraft very soon. So if you need to see more of my friends, please check out all of their channels and join the Discord. So thank you all very much. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Don't forget that hour nap. Daylight savings, my my rear. Right? Exactly. Yep. All right. It'll take me too long to catch up. Everyone, thank you very much. Super appreciated today. Oh, I need this button, the one that says end stream. That's what I got to do. There we go. Good night.